The No New Friends podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. For the best in below-the-waist grooming, visit manscaped.com. Use promo code NNF for 20% off. That is manscaped.com.
I got dog crap on my hand, and I was like, oh no, this is terrible. The wind is blowing. I have the dog. I'm trying to go around the corner. The neighbor waves. I wave with the other hand. My hair flies in my face. What do I use the dog crap hand for? To push it out of my face. So now I have dog crap on my hair. And I was like, oh no. And I still have dog crap. There's a lot of it. I had too much of it on my hand. So I'm like, oh. And so I'm like quickly trying to get home, right? I'm right down the street. Dexter is riding his bike. Okay, and we have this thing where if we see each other, we go, well, hello there. And he did that, right? And I'm like, hey, buddy, like, well, hello there. Homie crashes into a car on his bike.
Oh my God.
So I go rushing over, and what do? Touch him with the dog crap hand. And he's like, ah! And so we're both screaming, right? He's got dog poop on him. I've got dog poop on me. He's bleeding. I'm crying. He's crying. It was a crappy situation.
Meanwhile, Mary's wiping her face, with the tears, and it's just the poop.
I'm surprised I don't have pink eye, guys. I'm surprised.
This is how COVID 2023 got started.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. It is the Welsh version, the Pembroke Welsh version of COVID 2023.
Broadcasting from the Sandpiper Vacation Studios. It's time for the No New Friends podcast. The podcast for adults who love to laugh at adulting. The good, the bad, and the funny.
Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's showtime. It's showtime.
That's right, you're listening to the No New Friends podcast, voted number 1 by our friends and family, and number 3 by the Orlando Weekly Readers Poll. We are the podcast for adults who love to laugh at adulting. If you'd like to connect with us on all of our social media, all of our links are right there on our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. While you're there, check out our super sweet merch. There's a bunch of new shirts out there, some really cool ones, so get them before they're copyright stricken and taken off of the website. Also, while you're on our website, check out our clubhouse. Become a friend with benefits. For as low as $2 a month, you can join our Patreon and watch us as we record all these things live, have exclusive access to interviews and cutting room floor and things that you don't get to hear on the regular show. Also, we stream every Wednesday night at about 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch. That's www.twitch.tv/NNF podcast. My name is Scott. I am the host. With me, as always, my amazing cast of characters. The queen of missed opportunities, Mary. Everybody's favorite food truck critic, Sarah.
Hello.
Our emotional support gay, Nick.
Hey, girl, hey.
Our producer, Alex.
Hey, I'm editing over here.
And the scumbag reselling hoarder himself, Chris.
The Jovitos are near. The poison is still fresh. 3 days. They're following us.
Quiet Place.
Oh, got him. Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Huh. You got me.
Wow.
This was the first line in any Indiana Jones movie.
Okay.
Uttered by a young Alfred Molina.
Alfred Molina, yeah. Wow, you got me. You stopped me.
I'm pretty impressed with myself. I'm going to take off the rest of the night. I had really fun, guys, but this is my peak.
Not the best part of that movie, though.
It's just the first line in any Indiana Jones movie ever made.
True. Speaking of Indiana Jones, I got to watch the Indiana Jones show not once, but twice today.
Oh, man. How drunk were you the second time?
One of the first.
Both times? Yes, the answer is yes.
So Sarah and Lewis had to leave at 12:30, and it was 12 o'clock. Show was just starting, and I'm like, guys, follow me. And they were like, okay.
Christ on a cracker.
After I stopped to get another beer, no big deal. But I was hot pissed off because the market scene was missing like the middle section. It just was off to the side, and I thought we were going to get a 5-minute show again. I got to tell you, I was a little bit disappointed. You know, the henchmen or the Nazis or whatever. Disney's getting very comfortable with inclusion and diversity. A lot of women in that scene. A lot of women villains. And I'm like, okay, what's next? Is Indiana Jones going to be played by a woman? Let's keep it.
Scott, I'm going to pause you right there really quickly.
Yeah.
How many times have you had your heart broken in your life?
Quite a few.
By women?
Yes.
So you could say that women are villains pretty often in your story?
Yeah, that's true. So it's on brand.
Look, art is just trying to, life and art, there's like a whole saying about that.
I think the problem is I wasn't quiet about my rant. It was probably just as loud as the yellow strap rant. Sarah, can you?
It really was. It really was.
Are you allowed back in the parks?
Yeah, I am allowed back in the parks.
That's good. Good for you. I'm proud of you.
So, Mary, we missed you last week. It was one of those, we would say, classic episodes.
Yeah.
Iconic episodes. But you actually got a chance to listen to it. And
I did listen.
You've got some questions / comments.
I do. So I'm great. Thank you for asking. And that's actually a lie. Guys, I'm fighting for my life. I'm fighting for my life right now. Mike Reedy is out of town. He decided to leave me and go to Atlanta for work. So I'm here with these badass kids by myself. And it's been nothing but chaos all week. Nothing but chaos. I am definitely a medical professional. I had to stitch up a wound on Dexter's leg yesterday. I had a kid with an allergic reaction, but it's fine. I have some notes for you from last week's show. So that's all that matters.
Did you put your hand through a spindle?
Well, I was going to say, Sarah, thoughts and prayers. Yeah. I'm very sorry that happened to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And
I'm still in pain, but
I bet, if you need anything, please let me know. I can help you out. I can't quite write prescriptions yet, but I'll do my very best to get a hold of some for you.
One of the first questions I asked Sarah today is, hey, how's your hand? And Lewis looked at me and said, still hurts. Still hurts.
He's like, yeah, still hurts.
Very
but how's your mouth?
Fantastic.
How's that jaw?
It works as it should.
Great. I did notice your cheekbones are a little elevated. Is that muscle being worked a little more? It seems like maybe yes.
It might be. It might be. Great. Again, there was a lot of tequila today, so
there you go.
We experimented.
Hey, I love it. I did see the new lightsaber. Yours, not Lewis's. Okay, so just a few notes. Scott, if you could never say the word penetrate again, like on air, that would be great. Also, colored people, please don't say that ever, ever again.
Hold on. There's a complete.
I know that was an old recording. I know, but why did you say it ever?
Because I remember why. I remember colored people.
But you said
you cannot say colored people.
You did.
Yeah, but you said it when you said you couldn't say it. So you know what I mean? Like, Chris, I know that you're sweet. No idea that you had diabetes, though. I had no idea.
Yeah.
The beatus.
I was diagnosed by the No New Friends podcast.
Yeah. I mean, that's where all the best diagnoses come from. Yeah. Hey, but listen, unfortunately, casts are for the weak, so I'm very sorry about that. And I'm not trying to be rude here. How big could your incision have been? Your legs are very short. 3 inches?
It was half my leg. Actually, yes, 3
right,
inches.
3 inches.
Half my leg. Yeah.
3 inches. Got it.
That's
Nick,
big for Scott.
It's true. That's a lot. It's a full mouthful. Okay, so listen. Nick, I am actually looking to book a vacation, so I was hoping you could help me.
Yeah.
Somewhere in Florida where you only have to wear grippy socks. There's medications, maybe a nice mental health facility. After listening to not just that episode, but my own life. So if you can look into that.
That's called Scott's house.
The grippy sock vacation? No, I've been there before. That is the opposite of that because I need to go to a detox and a rehab after I've been there. Do you know how many White Claws I've put away at Scott's house? Do you have any idea?
Just one more, Mary.
Too many.
Just have one more.
Oh.
Yeah, and then I'm there for 3 days, and I'm like, do I live here now? I do. This room has an M on the outside of it. It must be mine. I have a note here about butt sore in Baltimore. How do I book that trip?
That's only for our VIP clients. So you haven't made that level yet.
Oh.
Wow. How do I get a VIP, a V in me? I don't know. What is
I was
this?
going to say, you have to have Scott penetrate you, but...
Whoa.
Wow. Okay, well, I know that 2 out of the, 4 of us have, but like, Jesus. Sorry, Sarah, I don't mean to offend. But
fine,
also, so we did talk about, Sarah, I'm very, very sorry about your injury. That is
Thank
like
you.
a season ending. Like, I hope you make a speedy recovery. Chris, I know that you had that thing with your leg and I'm very sorry. Did you guys forget? Because Scott, you did say that was the most traumatic injury we've had on the podcast. Did you forget I had a goddamn heart attack at the beginning of the year? Like, did we all just forget that for a second? Like, no offense, Sarah, but like, I literally was on my deathbed, and we're like, oh my god.
I did forget about that.
I'm sure that it's very painful, and I'm so sorry, but like, I almost died. You assholes.
He was just talking about the people that were on that evening.
Yes.
But
is what it was,
Scott,
yeah.
I will forgive you because you said only pretty people were in your wedding. So are you saying I'm pretty? You are. You said I was pretty. So really, I'm not that mad. In general, I'm not that upset. I did have a note here about African Americaned out.
What?
Like someone didn't black out. They African Americaned out. I don't know if I've ever African Americaned out, but I sure have hell have African Americaned. Never mind.
Wow.
What else do I have here? The whole Remy and yeah, that was the whole thing. So Abby, first of all, I mean, chef's kiss. She's wonderful. Scott, I think that it is wild of you, like just like mighty wild of you to critique Sir Remy's podcast and the things he says when we all are certain, like you're sitting here with a fedora on right now. We have you on recording saying colored people, just that in general, right? But like, we're like, stay away from the parks, kiddies. Watch out, dogs. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Tread lightly. You know what I mean? But you did say I was pretty, so all's forgiven. Anyways, yeah, so that's just me out here. That was my wrap up from the last week. Chris, once again, so sorry about your diabetes, but Sarah, oh my god, your hand. I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
So
Thank
sorry.
you.
Thoughts and prayers. Anyways, back to me. I am fighting for my life right now. Can I tell you all a quick
Chris,
story?
You may have some competition for Cliff's Notes.
Yeah.
That was...
Really good.
Also, I
take the
had a
week
damn
off.
heart attack, guys. I had a damn heart attack. Can we all just remember that for a minute? Just a minute.
Heart attack, spindle.
I can't take my ADHD medication ever again because I had a heart attack.
Oh,
Never
we know.
again.
We know.
Oh my god, it's terrible. Can I tell you a quick story though?
Please.
It's actually 5 stories. Well, I'll tell you about what happened to me today. Just today alone. I went to CVS because I needed
A long
toothpaste.
receipt? Oh.
Yeah, very long receipt.
You were out of toilet paper.
I needed toothpaste and dish detergent, and I didn't feel like committing to a real store. Like, to me, that's like a half store. You know what I mean? Like, it's not as overwhelming. So I went in there, and the lady in front of me she was very tall, first of all, very jealous. So maybe that's where this is coming from. Had a hat on. And the cashier was just scanning and didn't really look up. And she said, "How you doing today, sir?" And that really offended this lady. She said, "I am not a sir."
Oh, no.
And the lady like apologized profusely. She was like, "I'm so sorry. I didn't really see. Like, I just saw the hat. I'm so sorry. I just wanted to ask you about, like, see how you're doing." I am holding my 3 boxes of toothpaste and my Dawn dish detergent, just like mortified because this is a confrontation I don't want to witness. I don't know what to do. And I feel bad, like, and I'm just watching it unfold. And the lady was hot pissed off and was not forgiving. Like, she was like, no, you saw me when I walked in. How dare. And I was like, And so then I put my things down. The lady walks out and I go to say hi and hello at the same time, and I just go, hell. And I just stare this lady straight in her friggin' face, and I just said, hell. and looked at her. And we just stared at each other. And she goes, yeah, it's that kind of day. And just kept scanning me in. And I couldn't recover. I couldn't do anything. I was stuck. And so I go to leave and I call my sister, obviously, because she's the person I call when these things happen. And I see the lady going back in the store. Like she was going for round 2. I forgot my windows were down. And my sister was on Bluetooth. And I'm like, she's going back in. And the lady looked at me. She saw that I was talking about her. So I just sped away real fast. Right out of that. Ooh, it was terrible. So that was today. Have you ever had dog crap on your hands before?
Once, but I don't want to talk about it.
I mean, it's not something I highly recommend. So I take Waffles for walks pretty frequently. And, you know, we're good neighbors, so we pick up the dog poop. Guys, this is all within the last 2 days. My Greedy leaves town and all, like, just the crap hits the fan, if you know what I mean. Hand. Literally. My hand is the fan in this situation. So I pick up the dog poop, you know, like a good neighbor. I'm like State Farm. I'm basically there. Allstate, you're in good hands. And so I'm walking. I got the dog poop in, you know, one hand. And I go to, like, pick it up. And it somehow, like, flings loose a little bit out of the bag. She did a double dip. I don't know if your dog has ever done this. You bring one bag, they do a double dip. And so you have to do that weird like thing.
Yeah, where you
stomp it. What is it? A divot? Is it a golf course?
Stomp it in the grass. You sacrifice your shoe.
Is this a polo match?
You never stomped it?
No, I've never.
When they double poo, you stomp it.
Your dog is the size of a lizard, okay? I feel like the poos are different.
Your dog's smaller than his.
She is thick with 2 C's.
I saw the picture and she was like half the size of you.
Yeah, she's got thick. A huge she ass, is 24 pounds. Waffles has a big ass. She's a corgi and she's proud of it, okay? She didn't need a boyfriend corgi. My vet didn't know what
my dog's ass was. He thought it was a tumor.
Did you ask Nick? Did you ask Scott,
I did consult with Scott.
I was about to say, actually, I'm so sorry.
Scott was like, I'm not sure. For research, let me check it out.
Let me just 2 or 3 fingers. Just the pinky? I don't know.
You didn't use any fingers, actually. It was, never mind.
Just the tongue? Okay, sorry. Anyway, so I did the double dip, and somehow I got dog crap on my hand, and I was like, oh, no, this is terrible, right? The wind is blowing. I have the dog. I'm trying to go around the corner. The neighbor waves. I wave with the other hand. My hair flies in my face. What do I use the dog crap hand for? To push it out of my face. So now I have dog crap on my hair. And I was like, oh, no. And I still have dog crap. There's a lot of it. I had too much of it on my hand. So I'm like, oh. And so I'm like quickly trying to get home, right? I'm right down the street. Dexter is riding his bike. Okay. And we have this thing where if we see each other, we go, well, hello there. And he did that. Right. And I'm like, hey, buddy, like, well, hello there. Homie crashes into a car on his bike.
Oh my God.
So I go rushing over. And what do? Touch him with the dog crap hand. And he's like, ah! And so we're both screaming, right? He's got dog poop on him. I've got dog poop on me. He's bleeding. I'm crying. He's crying. It was a crappy situation.
Meanwhile, Mary's wiping her face, you know, with the tears and it's just the poop.
I'm surprised I don't have pink eye, guys. I'm surprised.
This is how COVID 2023 got started.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. It is the Welsh version, the Pembroke Welsh version of COVID 2023. And that kicked off the week. That's how the week started. And I wish that was the worst of it. Later in the week, Zoe, well, the next day, Zoe has an allergic reaction to something, pumps up. She looks like, no, I wish. Because sometimes, you know, but she looked like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Huge.
Oh, so Chris on a Tuesday.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Well, thank you for just quartering it to Tuesday. That's actually pretty nice of you.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's a good thing I'm a medical professional, though, because yesterday Dexter did gash the crap out of his leg. I mean, just busted it wide open on his bike. I have pictures of the scene. He left his bike and both shoes. I guess the shoes flew off in the course of the accident. But I did butterfly his ankle together. Okay, and it looks great, guys. I did it myself. So if anybody needs any medical care, here to help. Happy to help. Save myself $500 in a
I know. Where were you last week for Sarah?
Yeah.
Well, if you guys were to call me, where was I today when you were at the parks, guys? Nobody called me.
Studying for your exam tomorrow.
Look, I'm just here butt sore in Baltimore, okay? That's me. It's Maryland after all. Anyways, so I'm single momming it, just winging it, barely making it through. I did make lasagna for dinner tonight. Grayson looked me dead in my freaking eyes and said, "This is garbage." And just stared at me. And I said, "Why, thank you, son. Can I make you something else?" And he said, "I'll eat the garbage."
Wow.
I said, wow, it's right there to your left. So that's how I'm doing.
Fantastic. Yeah. So Sarah's essentially a single parent as well. And we'll get into that in the next segment. But are you guys ready for Lord Remy's Word of the Week?
Yeah. Oh, I had a note about that one too.
Okay.
That's okay. Continue on.
Go ahead.
Well,
go ahead.
He said continuity was the same thing as menses. At one point,
it's continuous.
And I said,
it's continuous.
Yeah, because that's all we do is bleed out of our vaginas. Continue on, sir. Continuity is on.
I believe everything he says.
Continuity, whatever he said. What did he say?
Continuity. Continuity. All right.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Here's Lord Remy's Word of the Week.
Praise your Savior, let him speak. It's Lord Remy's Word of the Week.
What is up, the No New Friends podcast? What is up, everybody? It is I, Lord Remy, your holiness today with your Word of the Week. And the Word of the Week for this episode is array. Come on, guys. This is an easy word. Are you kidding me? Array? Like a ray of sunshine? Or are you talking about a manta ray? What ray are you guys talking about here? Array refers to a systematic arrangement or display of items, often in a particular order or formation. In computer science and mathematics, it specifically represents a collection of elements or values organized under a single identifier, each accessible by an index or key. An impressive display or arrange a particular type of thing. The word array has its roots in Middle English, coming from the old French word arrayer, meaning to arrange or put in order. Over time, it has been used in various contexts to signify the act of organizing or arranging objects, people, or data in a structured manner. Here is the sentence I came up with. In the art gallery, the paintings were beautifully displayed in a carefully curated array, showcasing a diverse range of styles and techniques. And last and finally, guys, here's your little joke, alright? Why did the computer go to therapy? Because it had too many issues with its emotional array. And there you guys have it. That is your word of the week. And that word of the week is array.
This is Abby with the correct pronunciations to last week's word of the week and the words I'm learning in middle school. First of all, Remy mispronounced continuity, cohesion, synonymous, and ensure. Remy, learn to eat the crust of a sandwich. You're in your 30s. Pull it together. So, this week's middle school word of the week is cringy. Cringy is someone or something that makes you embarrassed to be a part of the human race, usually classified by seeing something and feeling extremely embarrassed, throwing your head back and closing your eyes to block your view of the cringy media and biting your lip to keep in the scream of your utter disgust. Oh my gosh, that couple is so cringy. Can they stop kissing each other for 10 seconds? It's put me off of my lunch now. Or when my dad goes to the park in his fedora, he is very cringy. I mean, really, Dad? Judy Garland was only 15. And Chris, get over it. An Achilles injury is not really that big of a deal. Sarah, how's your hand? I lit a candle this week for you. That's all for me. Slay Queens!
It's Lord Remy's Word
you very much, Remy and Abby. I appreciate it so much. All right. When we come back, Sarah's going to tell us how she's basically a single parent and what she's doing to rectify that. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast.
There are 3 things that I hate in life: taxes, nausea, and booking vacations. The first 2 I'm stuck with, but for the third, I use Sandpiper Vacations. Sandpiper Vacations is a small business that is LGBTQ+ owned and operated with travel advisors all over the country. Whether it's a cruise, a trip to a theme park, or an all-inclusive resort, Sandpiper has you covered. Oh, and I forgot to mention, it's free. Why book a vacation when you can have someone else do it for you? That's like choosing to take the stairs in a building that has an elevator. Leave the headaches of booking a vacation to someone else. Get your quote today at www.sandpipervacations.com and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
Hey, everybody. Why don't you give the old Black Lincoln Collective podcast a listen? We're funny, we're fat, and we're here 24/7 at blcpodcast.com. Anytime you want to listen, anywhere, all your favorite podcast apps. Of course, we have a YouTube channel where you can stream live with the show. Check out our shorts. We're funnier the less you hear of us. That's been a Black Lincoln Collective podcast at blcpodcast.com.
Hey there, Scott here. You all know I like to spend time wandering the neighborhood on my big wheels or hanging out at the park with my fedora and my Bud Light. So I don't have time to clean my own house. That's why I've been using I Believe services for the past 6-7 years, and they're the best in commercial and residential cleaning. They're also doing carpet shampooing at such a reasonable price. Just check them out. That's ibelieveservices.us. Give them a call, 407-928-4595, and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
Hi, this is Eddie Deason. This is the No New Friends podcast. This is Mandark. Ha 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 ha.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast. As always, leave us a review, a 5-star rating with a nicely written review about our podcast, especially if you listen on Apple and Spotify, because that really helps us out, pushes us up in the algorithms and whatnot. Nick, do you have any reviews pulled up for us?
I do have one. Thank you for leaving reviews. As Scott said, I'm pulling these ones from Apple Podcasts because I don't know what Spotify is. Was that a thing on your shirt? A spot on your shirt?
Yeah, Spotify doesn't show, it's just learning. Ratings. It's not a review. It's just ratings. That's it. There's no comments.
Well, this is a rating/review.
Okay.
It has both. So this is a 5-star from Matthew A. Bennett. So thank you, Matthew. The title is called Like Hanging Out with Good Friends. So I just listened to my first episode and I was already hanging out with this crew. Fun and surprising conversations. And thank you very much. This is very true. We just talked about this the other day and like how Scott and I met up in person for the first time. And it's literally like hanging out with a best friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're your friends. We actually want to be friends with you out there. Scott and Mary named this podcast a while ago with no new friends, but I'm here to make friends. So.
Right.
Look, it was more of, we just don't want other people to be our best friends. So I was like, no new friends. Okay. So like you guys can be our friends out there, but also, like a little bit.
Yeah.
So Sarah.
Just kidding. I love you all.
Sarah, what's new with you? The changes in your household.
Once again, thoughts and prayers. How's your hand?
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's been difficult.
Is it resting?
It is. I'm trying to, take my time with the healing process.
You're very inspirational.
When I saw you were holding a lightsaber today.
That was Lewis's penis.
It wasn't Lewis's penis. I
was wondering why it was
glowing. It was mostly with my left hand.
Yeah.
You type pretty fast, I'm not going to lie, for how injured you are. You're right in the chat. No breaks or anything. I don't know. If I was seriously injured,
Chris,
I don't think I would. I'm just saying, I just don't think I'd be typing that much or that fast.
In spite
I'm
of
sorry
her
that
injury.
I can walk, but,
Damn!
It's a little racist. It's a little racist.
A little racist. Dang, Sarah, what are you going to call him next?
Fully intact Achilles.
Wow. Wow.
All right, I'm gonna
so what
step
you're
away
saying
from
is
that.
you're lighter in weight and you can move faster?
Sounds nice to be able to step away from something, Sarah. I wonder what that's like.
Are you right-handed by chance? Can you use that hand?
I'm right-footed. Can't pogo stick, Sarah. Can't punt a football.
I'm sorry. I'm sure you did that often.
We're just gonna leave you two alone for a little bit.
I couldn't even keep that.
It's like the disability Olympics over here, guys. Like, is this the Special Olympics for the No Friends podcast? Like, who's worse
I don't want to injure myself again, but if I must to keep it going, anything for the content, I guess.
Anything.
Scott put that spindle there.
So you're running your house.
Speaking of which, to the right. We went on Tower of Terror today, first thing right off the bat. And Sarah was like, no, I'm not going on Tower of Terror. And I was like, have you ever ridden it? She's like, no. And I said, you need to ride it. Hashtag content.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, if you want to wear a waffle and a breakfast burrito and this, that, and the other that I had for breakfast, then sure, I can ride it. I said, I will wear that. I will catch it in my hand.
It's worth it.
Hashtag content. Let's do this.
Whatever. That's foreplay for you, Scott. Jesus. Okay. Sarah, so you're living life single-handedly and also raising these children single-handedly. Tell us about it.
So Lewis has a job that he works all day instead of just in the morning now.
Wow,
So he gets home late.
Very
I know, the audacity
selfish.
of this man.
Selfish, honestly.
This week, I've learned what it's like to do things on my own. Like picking the kids up, taking them to school.
I was going a different way with that. I was like, I can give you tips. I can give you links if you need help with that.
I learned that
You did just buy that lightsaber, so I didn't
send
know.
you pictures. It's fine.
We already have
diagrams, whatever.
Jesus.
Take them to the dentist by themselves. I had to do that. There was a whole, well, the dentist thought I was their sister. So
I love that.
fine.
That's my favorite, man.
Well,
and then you got to convince them. You're like, no, really, I'm the parent.
Dentist flipped a switch. Okay. I'll tell you real quick. I get there, what dental assistant, dental hygienest, whatever they're called.
So pretty
right?
much the Mary version of the dental field.
Wow.
Your words, not mine. So
I don't know how I feel about that.
Listen, she stitched a child up this week, okay?
I did.
Right.
Did you do that, Scott?
Y'all, I was in the OR.
Probably.
I've been in the OR, man. I was all up in the... Wow, that is so messed up. I can't even laugh. I want to. It's not okay, though.
Son of a bitch.
I was going to make a joke and then
it's not even okay.
Oh, I can't do this. And Sarah walked right into it.
I'm so sorry.
He did the opposite of stitching a child up. Okay, sorry.
What's really funny is Sarah's like the sweet one on this show, and even in person, the first time was nice and sweet. Now Sarah's very comfortable and doesn't hold back. She's videoing me as I get excited about the perfect show and sharing it with the world. Anyway, continue, Sarah.
Well, it was more interesting to watch you oh, okay, this is great. He's like slapping Lewis's leg. He's like, oh my God, yes. I know. Chris, that was my face too. I'm like, what is that vicious slapping noise next to me? All right. It was Scott with my husband. Take that as you'd like.
Then they went to the Indiana Jones show.
Wow.
I always miss out on the good stuff.
And I wasn't even invited.
I took a video. Don't worry, there's a video there.
We can sell that later.
And there's more. I didn't want to embarrass him too much, so
Back to the dentist.
Oh, listen, yeah. So listen. Everybody knew, they got the vibes that I'm a parent figure, all right? And the dentist walks in and she goes, oh, hey, ladies, how are you? How's it going? And you must be big sister. And I'm like, okay, thanks. I appreciate
now tell
that.
me how pretty I am.
No, I said, I'm stepmother, actually. And she goes, do you have a consent form to bring the children here? I'm like, Oh, I said, well, I've been doing this for 5 years, so I didn't know that there was a consent form involved. So I got sent home with a permission slip to take the children to the dentist.
So is there no copay then? Because damn, sign me up, man. I'll do that all week. Yeah, man.
Insurance. No.
Mary needs a permission slip to do anything because of how young she looks. Go to the club, permission slip.
Appreciate it. Yeah. I'm not trying to go to no club.
I understand.
The club doesn't open until past my bedtime. I can't be going to the club.
That's the truth.
Yeah, man. That's why I like mimosa so much. That is an AM drink, sir. I am in bed by the PM. Let's do it early, if you know what I mean. Rise and grind, if you know what I mean.
Well, Scott can tell you, I was going to drink a mimosa this morning at Disney, but for the $14 for the mimosa at Disney, I could get a double shot of tequila.
Might as well just
going to do that.
Mouth to face with the bottle, man.
Let me tell you, it was this whole thing too, because first of all, they had to gather up the courage to go ask this woman where she got the mimosa, and they did. And she's like, it's right over there. And so we start walking over there, and I'm like, well, I'm going to go grab a beer real quick. And Lewis is like, no, we're not getting one. And I'm like, why not? And he goes, it's $14. I was like, this is on Rachel today. I got it. But then they're like, no, out of principle, we won't buy it for $14.
Yeah, you can get you can get two bottles of Andre for that, you know?
Exactly.
Thank you.
I'm very familiar with the Andre.
Yes.
Except for tonight. We're not doing it tonight. I got a bottle of water. But Mary, I can resonate with you a little bit, you know, with the lasagna, because one of the nights that I was a single parent, we went to Walmart because my youngest is obsessed with Stranger Things. So she had to have the Surfer Boy pizza that they have. We get to the aisle and she picks out her pizza and she's really excited about it. And she goes, so you know that this has to go in an oven, right? Like you have to use the oven to make the pizza. I'm like,
and don't use the adobo.
I know how the oven works, kid. I do understand.
You should. Out of everybody, you should know. I mean, I want to go there, but
I don't like to get too close to it, but I do use it if need be.
Right. Dang. Yeesh. I'm real sorry about that. So what I do is just rub a little dog poop on them, you know, and that's really just puts them in line. After
really makes them grateful.
After they've had injury, add the insult of rubbing dog crap on them. Oh my God.
So, Sarah, you must be feeling, with Lewis being gone all the time, you must be feeling very lonely. Are you doing anything to fill this void?
Sign me up. I'm on my way. Oh. I mean, I'll fill your void.
Whoa.
What? You can call me Andre. Pop my bottle, baby.
Scott's like, how can I legally change my name to Void?
I noticed you in front of that oven. Your hair blowing back. Trying to feed these damn kids. Baby girl, just sit down and relax. I don't have a lightsaber, but I'll light you up. If you know what I mean. I will be your Juan, Obi. That's all I got, guys. That's all I have.
Just what to say.
That's just what to say.
I almost turned straight there for a minute.
That's the nicest thing anybody said to me all day.
Wow, it got me heated up.
A little warm. I just made myself off. Anyways, how's your hand, Sarah? Are you okay?
We'll
you making it?
She's fine.
I'm trying.
Sorry.
Oh, she's fine. All right. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Thanks, Mary.
How are your fingers?
Look, she don't need no fingers, if you know what I mean.
Okay. Wow. What is happening here?
Straight to After Dark.
Hey, Chris, remember that one time when you bought all those scissors from Walmart? Scissor me timber, you know what I mean?
Oh boy.
Guess I have a buyer.
Look, I get left alone for a few days and this is how I am, okay?
Wow. I don't even know, Sarah, if you need to tell the story of the waitress.
I want to hear it.
I don't think it compares to what Mary just did, but I can try.
Two's company, three's a crowd. Let's surf, baby.
Well, I can find this girl in question. I know where she works, actually.
Oh.
That sounds creepy, but it was part of conversation.
Okay. Yeah, let's get her on the show.
Yeah,
I'm sure she
can record from here. What?
I didn't get a name, but I got a workplace. I got where she's from. I mean, where she goes to school.
She goes to school, so she's intellectual.
She does.
What's her major? What's she going for?
We're talking college, right?
I hope so. Scott immediately is like, too old for me. I don't know.
Sarah, you found out where she goes. Did you find out where she comes?
Listen, that's all part of the story, Chris.
Should we go to break real quick?
I would say pump the brakes, but you can't with your foot, your leg.
Oh.
Is my Achilles now a fetish?
To each their own.
All right, so Sarah, this girl.
So I'm at work. I'm minding my own business. All right, this girl walks up and she asks me if I can get her a cup of coffee. So it's kind of like the barista situation, right? And I said,
"Oh my God, I already
absolutely
Jesus Christ on a cracker."
I said, "I got this. A little cream, a little sugar. Let's take care of this for you."
So much cream. I mean.
She's standing up there and she's telling me about how she's in town from Savannah. She works at a very high-end restaurant. No.
So she likes being south, down south.
Listen,
not from the Savannah, from Savannah, Georgia.
That one. That's the one.
Georgia is the complete opposite of Africa. Complete opposite.
Thank you. I'm from the north.
So she likes being down south?
So I'm having a normal conversation with her, talking about school, talking about work. She's like,
does she work hard?
I think so, because she has 2 jobs and goes to school. So I give her credit. Listen, do you know... My poor husband. Do you know what Maya Hawke looks like? All right.
Your cock? Yes. No, Maya Hawke.
Yeah. Maya Hawke. All right. This girl. It's the music, Chris. You can't hear over it. It's fine. No.
I mean, I heard my cock too. And I'm like, I mean, we're all about diversity here, so thanks for coming out.
Just wanted you to feel included, Nick. Listen, I resonated with the gay at the moment. I told you, because listen, this girl came in with the short, dirty blonde hair, with the green blazer on, with the sleeves rolled up. A blazer. All right, and
definitely
she was beautiful. And I didn't get that vibe until she walked away and said, "Bye, Sarah. Have a great day."
Oh, God, she remembered your name. She's got to be a lesbian.
Right. So my coworker looks at me and goes, she's gay for you, right? Like, she absolutely was just hitting on you.
Look, I don't know if she's gay, but I'm gay for her. You know what I mean? After that, you remember my name? Oh, my God. So that was today?
Way she said
When did that happen?
This happened over the weekend.
Did you see her again?
So next morning, I got ready for work. My hair looked good.
A little extra something. Yeah, a little extra something.
Like highlighter, a little extra mascara. I was really trying to. And Lewis looks at me and goes, "Are you doing this for Savannah, girl?" I absolutely.
100%. Yes. Yes.
She did not show up the next day.
Oh my God.
Oh.
I was so disappointed.
Left you high and dry, literally.
Literally.
Yeah.
But I'm still thinking about her. So
are we.
Hopefully she listens to No New Friends podcast.
Did you let her know about the podcast?
Did you tell her
I should have, but I was so enthralled
Oh my God.
with
That's
the rest
always
of
the
it.
first thing that comes out of your mouth. Well,
Well,
sometimes.
Yeah.
Well,
depends on if she's a spit or a swallower.
Right.
Yeah, it just depends.
Not judging.
Again, well, it doesn't work with this story, you know, trying to have kids, but, you know, with her.
Wow.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I had to admit to my sister-in-law that I may have found a woman.
Oh.
And when I started to explain the situation and what she looked like, she said I would have absolutely hit on her too. No doubt. 100%. So I felt better.
I'm down
good.
too.
Good. Yeah. I mean,
So now-
Nick's like, yeah, me too. Sign me up.
I mean, you had me
I'm
at
there.
coffee. You had me at well, not Blazer.
Really? Not
Listen,
the blazer
I
with the
like
rolled up
ladies.
sleeve?
Okay.
Oh my god.
It's just the way you told it.
Listen.
It was just very
Have you ever seen Stranger Things? All right.
I've seen a lot of strange things.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Listen, there's this scene where Maya Hawke has this green blazer on with the sleeves rolled up with the cute shirt, all right? And she looked just like her in that moment, and I was like, "Oh, okay.
Sign me
This
up.
is a problem."
Yeah.
Yes,
It's a
please
problem.
sign me up. Sign me up. And I work in a hotel, so honestly, she could have told me a room. And it would have been fine. But we didn't get that far. She had meetings and stuff. I understand. It's fine.
Sorry, I all I heard was your cock with the sleeve rolled up. That's just circumcision. That's part of your culture, right?
That is, yeah.
Are you guys ready for Travels and Tribulations?
Always.
All right, so the sophisticated gentleman is on the search for Santa Claus so he can get Matt from Wii Sports off his back. He found a free refrigerator last week, had to call the Ghostbusters. Remy was in there eating a sandwich, all sorts of things. So let's see what's going on with the sophisticated gentleman this week.
What shall it bring when the gentleman rings on travels and tribulations?
Hello there, No New Friends team. Once again, the sophisticated gentleman with another call. As I found out last week, my fridge is broken, and so I'm headed to Sears to try to get a new one. The weather's really nice, so I figured that I would walk. Not a cloud in the sky, you can hear the birds chirping. Ow! That bird just came down and pecked me. It happened again. Jeez, I'm gonna look like Sarah and Lewis after a night in if I keep this up. Oh my god, this is more painful than Chris's story from last week. I gotta run out of here. Looks like there's a phone booth up there. Gonna go into this phone booth here. Whew, I seem to be safe from those birds for now. I don't know what got into them. Didn't even know they still made phone booths. These things are old. They kind of remind me of Game Master Ryan. Speaking of which, I'm going to be making a quick detour on my way to Sears if I can get past these birds in time. Of course, it's Ryan's birthday this upcoming week, and we've got a party planned for him. It's actually right outside this phone booth here. Weird, I don't see anyone else there. I better go ahead and give him a call. Well, Sarah doesn't seem to be picking up here. Maybe she's at a nursing home trying to see if any other celebrities have died. Lewis and Justin, I think, are still watching Ahsoka, so they're probably not coming to this party either. Oh, I'm getting a call from Alex. Hey, Alex, are you coming to Ryan's party?
It's me, the guy who edits the podcast.
I'm pretty sure he just says that on loop indefinitely. I was going to try to get the Black Lincoln Collective podcast to show up, but I think only one of them could have made it, and I'm not sure that we could have heard what he was saying anyways. I think Dane's too busy playing audio clips at
Renovention
inappropriate times. Oh, here's a video from Instagram. It looks like Nick's hanging out with someone.
It's me, Jesus, the homosexual Christ. Now, I hear that you're about to go on a trip.
Or as Dane might say to that,
wide airy.
Oh, looks like I'm getting a call from Scott. Let's transfer over on the line. Hey, Scott, I've got a question for you.
Oh, God.
Which MCU character's eyes would you hope to catch?
Gosh, Gamora, Green Gamora.
I thought that that's something he's so focused on. I think Scott really is just busy rewatching Remy's Roundtable's most recent episode at the 15-minute mark. I'm not going to explain that joke. You're going to have to watch Remy's Roundtable if you want to get the joke there. Speaking of Remy, looks like from my phone here he's at the zoo. That's a little bit concerning knowing him. Oh, I think I'm getting a call from Chris. Hey, Chris, are you coming to the party?
Small power! Small power! Small power!
That is extremely concerning. We probably shouldn't talk more about that. Well, I think that's all of the hosts of the show. We've got Scott, Chris, Nick, Sarah. Oh, I think that's everybody. Really a shame that none of them were able to come out for Ryan's party today. Wait. There is someone over there. Hey, be careful of the birds. Who is that?
Hi, this is Eddie Deason.
Hey, Eddie, thanks for coming to Ryan's party, but you've got to get out of there. There's all those birds going around attacking people. Run out of there like Jack Sparrow from... What movie was he from?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, that's exactly correct. After all, this isn't just a nice little old...
Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, you could say that, I suppose. Anyways, make sure you get to safety and some shelter. And Ryan, as I'm sitting in this phone booth here talking about your birthday, I do want to thank you for your friendship over the past year and slightly more. I count myself very fortunate to consider you a friend. You're a wonderful person, an excellent comedian, and I do want to mention, I can almost guarantee that the No New Friends podcast has not yet mentioned your birthday this episode, so keep this in mind. Now I've got to get out of here. I'm going to face off against these birds so that I can finally get my new fridge. Here goes nothing. Wish me luck, son of a... Oh my god, that was painful. Alright, we finally made it to see her... Oh god, it's closed? Oh, they've made it into a spirit Halloween. Jeez. Maybe there's going to be something in there that can help me find Santa Claus at any rate. Look at all these costumes. There's Captain America, Indiana Jones, Captain America, Beetlejuice.
Oh, it's showtime.
What is the most racist country that exists?
Happy birthday, Classic Game Master Ryan. I didn't know.
Wow.
So
he forgot mine,
Well, it seems that Ryan forgot that I was a host of the show too, so that's fine. I mean, honestly, it's fine.
All right, when we come back, we've got Jersey Man, Florida Man, and so much more. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Picture it, St. Augustine, Florida, 2022. You're on the Night Watchman Ghost Tour with all of your ghoul friends. The air grows colder, you turn the corner, and there she is, Ghost Mary. Okay, you probably won't run into Ghost Mary. You may see a ghost named Mary. I'm not really 100% sure, but the tour guides for the Night Watchman Ghost Tour from See America Tours do know it is the only 4D ghost tour in St. Augustine. So if you have ever wondered what a ghost smells like, well, now is your chance. And right now they have a scary good deal going on. Enter the promo code NNF, as in No New Friends, and receive 25% off your Night Watchman Ghost Tour. So visit them at seeamericatours.net. That is SEE americatours.net. Okay, bye.
Psst. Hey, you want to join a cult? Well, this might be your lucky day. For just $2 a month and a simple blood oath, you can join our clubhouse and become a friend with benefits. In addition to the amazing feeling of donating to the poor, you will have access to Patreon-exclusive content, live shows, and maybe even a behind-the-scenes look at my secret stash. To get started, head on over to nonewfriendspodcast.com and hit Join Our Clubhouse. Can't wait to see you at the initiation ceremony. Oh, and in the chat during our live shows, of course.
Hey guys, comedian James John, and you are listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast. Don't forget to follow us on Twitch. That's www.twitch.tv/NNF podcast. And you can watch us when we record these things live at 8 o'clock and then after dark at 10 o'clock every Wednesday night. So check that out. Are you guys ready to play Jersey Man, Florida Man?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Whether flipping a fan boat or crashing a truck, these states are filled with people who suck. So it's time for us to play New Jersey Man versus Florida Man.
Every week, Ryan brings us 2 news stories. One is from Jersey, one is from Florida. It is up to us to determine which one is which. Take it away, Game Master Ryan.
Hey guys, this is Ryan, coming to you from the No New Friends newsroom, located this week at the hospital. After Sarah's terrible injury, I thought I would stop by and see how she's doing. I got a little lost when I first got here. Ended up in the morgue. It was terrible. That place is completely full of people who were bored to death when Chris tried to tell him his 2-hour story about the wedding he went to. But now I'm heading in the right direction. Oh, there's a sophisticated gentleman. Hey SG, what's in the bag? A gift for Sarah? Oh, it's Luke Skywalker's hand after it was cut off. You trying to give her a replacement? I bet Lewis would love that. Oh, Mary is here. I'm just kidding. Of course she's not here. I just saw Chris getting wheeled around here. He's not here to see Sarah. He's here for his dialysis for the diabetes. Why does he have a cast? Maybe he has gout. He seems like he would have gout. Whoa, is that Nick? He's running right at me.
Move. I'm gay.
Jeez, push me right out of his way. Seems so nice on the podcast. I guess that's what happens when you don't move out of the way of a gay. Where's he going so fast? Did tickets go on sale for Cher's tour? Anyways, there's Scott double fisting some Bud Light. Must be a special occasion since he doesn't drink very often. I guess he only drinks on days that end with a Y. Okay, I finally found Sarah's room. Oh my god, I must be too late. She's dead. No, wait. She's alive. It must be just her skin tone making her look that way. I swear she's more ghostly than the women sophisticated gentleman tries to go on dates with. Oh, Lewis, how you doing?
Yo, Ryan. What's going on, man? No, babe. No. Game Master Ryan. You know, the one that is in your podcast that does the game? No, that's sophisticated. The one from North Carolina, that one. Doesn't know how to spell. Whatever. It's been a rough week, man. You know, she's right-handed. Thank God she didn't go to Mary to pierce her tongue, because that would have sucked. Or maybe not, I guess.
Jeez, thanks, Lewis. I know how to spell. You look like you know how to mow a yard. Anyways, I hope you're doing well, Sarah. Well, I brought you a knitting kit as a get-well present, but maybe that's not a good idea. Last time I saw a Jew get a spike through the hand like that, well, never mind. We won't talk about him. He's like the boogeyman to your people. But also, I found the surveillance video of when you got hurt. Let me show it to you. Oh, I'm sorry, I mixed up the tapes. That's the one from when Chris fell over his dog. Yeah, that really reminds me. I'm surprised you hurt yourself. That really seems more like Chris's thing. But then again, I guess he kind of stole your thing. He started smoking joints. He smoked his ankle. He's smoking his knees. Speaking of smoking joints, smells like you've been self-medicating in here a little bit. Well, while Sarah's treating her glaucoma, let's get into this week's Florida Man or Jersey. And for our first story, a venue owner threatens wedding guest with a gun. And for our second story, a man is fired after he farts too much in the office.
Oh. Definitely sounds like something that I've done. All right, Sarah, this was your week. What do you think? Gun at a wedding or farting at work?
Farting at work, Florida. This is a hard one, actually. This is just a shot in the dark.
Yeah, I agree. There's no tells like normal. Mary, what are your thoughts?
Well, everyone in Florida owns a gun. You come out of a vagina and you get a gun. That's like a birthright. So I think the gun is Florida. Well, no, the opposite. So I think it's normal to have a gun in Florida, right? So gun is Jersey. Farting in the office is Florida. We're used to things smelling swampy, so it must have been pretty bad. So farting is Florida. Farting is for Florida. Guns are for Jersey. Final answer.
Chris?
farting in the workplace is Florida. I know this because everybody in New Jersey is still working remotely because of COVID. COVID was a pandemic that happened in the year 2020.
It's a hoax, just like that emergency broadcast today.
Yeah.
Giant hoax.
And Nick?
I feel like I'm going to go the same, too. I feel like you said Florida, everybody has guns, so it's not surprising. So definitely guns for Jersey.
I'm going to say that the guns is Florida because Jersey is more of a knife state, and we're more of a gun state. And then farting is Jersey. All right, let's find out.
It's a felony to think about a gun in New Jersey, Scott.
What's that?
It's a felony to think about a gun in New Jersey.
I'm sure. You damn liberals trying to take away our guns. All right, let's find out the answers.
So our first story is from Florida, where a Florida venue owner pulls a weapon on a newlywed couple and brawls with the DJ when they refuse to turn down the music on the final song. As you might have heard by Chris's extremely long story last week, him and Emily went to a wedding. They shared a nice slow dance. I found the song that they danced to.
When your legs don't work like they used to before.
Seems very fitting. So that means our second story is from New Jersey, where a 70-year-old man was fired by a pork company for farting too much at work.
A pork
The man was given a
company?
pink slip after he couldn't help his flatulence after undergoing gastric bypass surgery in 2010, and his symptoms of extreme gas and uncontrollable diarrhea worsened in 2013. Speaking of gas, Scott's idea of romance is trying to Dutch oven his wife. I always thought Dutch oven is what the Germans called what they did to Sarah's people. And in other news, in Greece, hungry sheep devour over 600 pounds of cannabis after invading a greenhouse. On a completely unrelated note, Sarah's going as a sheep for Halloween this year. That's it for me this week, guys. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you so much, Ryan. A lot of conspiracies this week. The FEMA emergency thing that went off today at about 2:20 p.m. A lot of people were scared that there was going to be a lot of, government uploads into your brain, to counteract with the chips that were given with the COVID vaccine, all sorts of stuff. Did anybody hear any crazy conspiracies? I didn't even know that this was a conspiracy thing. I got a message yesterday that there's going to be a test. It's going to be at 2:20. Don't freak out. Your kids are fine. And then now people are going nuts. Chris, you're a conspiracy guy. Did you hear any of this?
Yeah, I did do a deep dive into this, Scott. I actually did not know about the conspiracy until you brought something up. So I did take to the most reputable place on the internet, Reddit.
Spoon University?
Spoon University.
No, Spoon University, actually, you have to wait a couple years for them to publish. They're very slow. So I did go to Reddit, and what I did put up a question. I'm concerned about the 220 FEMA broadcast. What should I do? Some suggestions... the top suggestion was to take the battery out of my phone, which was unsurprising and surprising at the same time, because it was surprising because you can't take the battery out of the phones these days.
No.
Unsurprising because people who think that this is a government upload to brainwash you probably do still have flip phones.
True. Yeah.
Another person said that, and this is a true post, somebody did put all of their cellular devices in their house in their, quote, underground bunker inside of some sort of bags. Tried to look up, and they're bags that get rid of the emission of cellular service. So they were that terrified of the government upload that they did purchase said cellular blocker bags, which was interesting. Yeah, hate to break it to them, but like Wi-Fi is the same thing. Like if you're worried about a 220 notification, it's literally 24/7. You are writing this Reddit post from the same technology that you are terrified of.
Right.
And I stopped my research there because I was actually scaring myself, because I'm terrified that there are people out there that believe in this stuff. And the more I read, the more scared I got. So would love to kick it over to you guys to elaborate more on this.
I mean, I feel like here, all I saw was like people like basically telling people to turn their phones off if they have a personal private phone for domestic abuse and stuff. And I'm like, I guess I didn't think about that side of things, of people having private phones for...
Yeah, I do want to piggyback on that for a second, Nick. So I was talking to my mom a little bit about this today, and my mom was like, yeah, there was a segment on the news today that if you have a second phone, I was like, oh, like a burner phone for like cheating on your significant other. She's like, no, if you're like in a domestic, like an abusive relationship. It's like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
I know about it for other reasons, but
yeah, hip hop culture has officially abused my brain into thinking that second phones are always for extracurricular activities and not abusive relationships. But I do want to say that if you are in an abusive relationship, enough to the point where you're getting a second phone, please just think about it. That's pretty bad. Like, I felt really seriously. I felt really bad when I heard about that. I'm thinking it was for cheating on people. I had no idea that people, and this is a little bit of After Dark in the Sunday episode. I had no idea that people had second phones that are in abusive. That is terrifying to me. I'm like, stupid me. I'm thinking, it's if you're cheating on your spouse. No, it's for people who need a second phone to, I guess, talk to, seek help because their spouse is abusing them. That is terrifying. And if you're listening to this and you are in one of those relationships, please consider reaching out to somebody. I know it's a very tough situation. You can listen to After Dark for more about that with our interview with Tanya Gilbert.
Yeah, don't lose heart episode.
Yes, don't lose heart. But yeah, that was pretty terrifying for me to hear, and it's kind of just shows how messed up I am for thinking that it was just for a out of the loop. I am.
I mean, it's kind of cool to see the differences in where you live versus where I live, and how everybody reacted differently to a random message that's coming up on our phone at 2:20 p.m. And like, for me, I'm just like, whatever. Like, we get those alerts pop up all the time if there's a tornado siren or something. We're used to something like that. So for me, I'm like, it's a test. I get it. We get tornado warning tests every single Wednesday at noon. So we had two things today. We had a siren outside at noon, plus we had that today. But
yeah, it's interesting. The other big conspiracy is this Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce thing. Nick,
I don't think it's a conspiracy. I don't buy it.
No, they're dating. That's not the conspiracy. I'll get there.
Yeah.
But okay, so Travis Kelce, Nick, is a football player for the Kansas City Chiefs. He plays tight end.
Love tight end.
That's a hilarious name for a football position. I bet you someone very homophobic named that position.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, football's very gay to begin with. I mean, you got tight ends, you got wide receivers. They got the jock straps. I mean, that's all I care about. But
so here's the conspiracy, okay? They made a big deal out of Taylor Swift at the Jets game, okay? Well, Taylor Swift is very into the environment and very liberal and always talking about the environment and all that. Well, I guess there's going to be this.
She is?
Yeah, she's very, she's very preaching environmentality and all that good stuff. So I guess that there's a documentary or something that's coming out that's going to like kind of blow it up for her, that she takes a private jet, and this whole, bad for the environment. She's not as environmentally friendly as we think. So like her people were like, we're going to get her to the Jets game so that when people Google Taylor Swift Jets, the whole Travis Kelce and her at the game comes up instead of this documentary, much like why Walt Disney came out with the movie Frozen, so that when you Google Disney Frozen under the castle, it comes up with the movie instead of the conspiracy. So anyway, those are the two big conspiracies. Had you heard that, Chris, with the Taylor Swift Jets?
So, I read that briefly. I respect the move because I also did too. Listen, I'm straight, but I say a lot of gay things. I did say that I'm culturally gay. So I don't want people to mistake me for being gay. Because listen, I'm an ally. I support the LGBT community, but I'm not going to oppose as a gay person, right? I'm not going to be a imitator, if you will. So I started using the word gay a lot, as in I'm happy. So I have started making Facebook stats and tweeting like, I'm so gay about the Eagles game today. I'm very gay that the Super Bowl is next week. So now when people Google Chris Yob gay, now all my tweets are going to pop up instead of all the conspiracies about me imitating to be a gay person, because I respect the community too much to pose as a member other than an ally. So yes, I'm very familiar with the move. I respect the move. And me and Taylor Swift has talked in length about this. Alex, cut this because this is confidential. And this was something that both of our PR people, Steve, has recommended to both
She's
of
got
us.
Steve too.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Chris, you're talking about gay a lot right now, and it just came to me, but Scott, move I'm gay.
Nick's on the mic, so it's time to take notice. And if you don't like it, that's homophobic. Stay the hell out of his way. Move, I'm gay.
You did bring up some really good points about how we have talked about the gay community on the podcast. More specifically, we've talked about it a lot on After Dark. I took a 3-hour course today for the travel agency on ChatGPT.
Oh, God.
And how we can use it towards travel-related stuff and all that. But I wanted to share something with you guys because we talk about it all the time, and I feel like I've been educating you a lot on the gay community. You guys have learned what top and bottom is.
You showed me.
Yeah, you've been educating Chris a lot more.
I do the hands-on experience for some people. Yeah. You learned what a twink was, I think, last week.
Yes.
So this week, I want to talk about the gay agenda. So this is something that a lot of people have discussed over the years and kind of put it back on the community. So I asked ChatGPT to explain kind of the gay agenda to you guys. So
okay,
I'm pulling a Remy right now, but I had 3 hours of training, so I need to use this training somehow. So in the gay community, there's a concept known as the gay agenda. It is a tongue-in-cheek term, pun intended, I guess. There, Chat GPT knows its audience. It's often used. So it's often used by mischievous sense of humor, contrary to the wild conspiracy theories about the gay agenda. So you guys have probably heard some conspiracy theories that we have an agenda out there.
Yes.
So here is our secret plan to the agenda. I'm telling you guys first on the No New Friends podcast. The secret plan is for fabulous brunches, impeccable fashion sense, and redecorating your entire living space.
Nice.
ChatGPT did leave out Taco Tuesday because we did invent that, so I'm throwing that out there. And we do all this while sipping on a perfectly mixed cocktail too. So if anyone ever accuses you of being a part of the gay agenda, so I'm talking to you guys right now, just give them a little wink and say, guilty as charged.
Oh my God.
So thanks for moving out of the way. This is my gay 102 for you.
We graduated.
Nick's on the mic, so it's time to take notice. And if you don't like it, that's homophobic. Stay the hell out of his way. Move, I'm gay.
Thank you very much, Nick. Chris, do you have any Cliff Notes for us this evening?
I do.
It's been quite the show. A lot of stuff's happened, so nothing can stop this little boy from recapping the day. Chris's Cliff's Notes way.
So I don't usually start Cliff Notes off with something serious, but I did have a scenario question for you, which I did not know where to put in the episode. So instead of cutting you guys off, I want to ask it here. So I do have a serious question, and please answer seriously because I do not want you guys to become an audio bite. If you could choose between preventing a genocide of about 18,000 minorities or 3 minorities, who would you choose to save? And this is 18,000 people versus 3 people. Just, seriously, and answer it truthfully. What? Like, this is not a joke.
18,000.
Okay, and for those of you who drug your feet a little bit, I will give a little more context. So the 18,000 minorities that have been killed in said genocide, their people take about 30 years to recover, but never really do completely. The 3 minorities that were killed, their people recover relatively quickly. So if you guys have an answer, I will explain.
I'm assuming this has something to do with your Achilles right now.
Well, funny you should say that, Nick, because 18,000 people in the world rupture their Achilles each year, and they never really fully recover. About 3 people get injured in somewhat weird work accidents and recover relatively quickly because it's not really serious. So I did just want to put that in perspective for you. But anyway, I will move on.
So 3 people have died from that? Sarah, I'm so glad that you're here.
Thank you. Wow, I didn't realize it could be that serious.
Cut that. They're taking this out of context. Alex, cut that. They're taking this out of context.
As soon as you started, I was going to say thank you, Chris, for making way for me to let you know that my hand is getting better. Slowly, but surely. I appreciate it.
Oh, well, that was quick, actually. I'm really, I expected the quick turnaround, but I mean, I of course, to you, it was slow because it's, you're the person that did it. But I mean, that was very quick. That was very quick. So anyway, Scott talked about how Disney is getting very inclusive by adding women into the Indiana Jones show at Hollywood Studios. He actually called me ranting about this, believe it or not. He told me he's worried they might make Indiana Jones a woman and be forced to change his name to Menopause Jones. His words, not mine. His words, not mine. So, to no one's surprise, we instantly started talking about Sarah's hand. And I asked her husband how she was doing, and he told me she's ambidextrous. So not only is she okay, but so is Lewis. Thank goodness. Mary talked about how only 2 of us were penetrated by Scott, which was interesting to me because how the hell did the other 2 of you get on this podcast? Mary talked about how she felt compelled to wave to her neighbors, even with dog poop on her hand, which was very nice of you, Mary. Very dedicated to you, greeting your neighbors. It's a nice thing to do. Do you live in Scott's neighborhood? Because when I visited him, I noticed that all of his neighbors do some sort of salute to each other. It's kind of like a salute, but they start at the chest and then end in the air. I've never seen it before, but wow, very nice if that's the case. Speaking of dog poop, Mary, if you need to know how to sanitize your hand, reach out to Scott. He gets it on his penis all the time. You son of a bitch. Taking my hand, like someone submitted these jokes to me, and like I'm like in agony reading them, but it was just me. Sarah was asked to sign a consent form for when she brought her kids to the dentist. Sarah, if you do lose that form before you turn it in, I still have the consent form that Scott made me sign before I stayed at his house. So just let me know. I will email that to you. No worries. Mary talked about how she rubs dog poop on people to put them in line. Scott does it to get him in the mood. Oh my God. Oh. Wow. Nick talked about the gay agenda. Scott wasn't entirely sure what he meant by this, so I explained it to Scott as the reason he votes Republican. Oh, wow. Oh my God. The sophisticated gentleman mentioned how he considers himself very fortunate to call Ryan a friend of his. I actually disagree. All jokes aside, Ryan, I do want to wish you the happiest of birthdays. I consider it a great privilege to call you a friend. I know that we pretend to hate each other through the podcast that we are on, but in actuality, we do indeed tolerate each other. I really just want to wish you a happy birthday because I know I would be pretty upset if someone forgot my 50th as well. So, Ryan, happy birthday from all of us at the No New Friends podcast.
Happy birthday, Ryan.
Happy birthday.
Hey, this is Alex from Diz His, along with
Chris from the No New... Wait, what is this an ad for?
This is an ad for Diz His on No New Friends.
Oh my gosh, I'm so out of place. So, yeah, we're on a Disney podcast, right, Alex?
Yeah, you and me now. We're doing a Disney podcast, Disney History, every week. On Tuesdays, it drops. Social media is Diz His Pod.
Yeah, if you ever need cleansing of the obscurities that you hear on this show, check us out on Diz His podcast, where we do something way more innocent.
And if you love Alex's segment, which is me, my history segment, then you'll love our full episode of Disney History.
Yeah, if you want a big load of Alex, listen to the Diz His podcast. You're going to love it. A little bit of me, a lot of Alex. It's like half and half, but a lot of Alex. A lot of Alex.
Whoa. There's a lot of you too. You also give up a big load yourself.
That's fair.
Chris, what do you have coming up on Diz His?
So before I get into what we did in the world of Diz His, the week of Diz His, not the world. That would take a lot longer. Before I talk about what we did in Diz His this week, I do want to talk about that FEMA notification today that we all received today. I haven't heard something that loud in close proximity to me since I hung out with Nick. That's a gay sex joke. So anyway, this week on Disney, we had Ryan on for this week.
But hold up. Why would you bring that? Why would you bring Nick up before the Diz His clip?
There's no reason.
Oh, okay. Well, what's coming up on Diz His is brought to you by Sandpiper Vacations. And if you want
wait a second. I'm sorry. I found. Sorry, my notes fell on the floor. So, Sandpiper Vacations is a place that actually one of our hosts, Nick from Sandpiper Vacations, is the owner of. And if you love the gays as much as I do, You're going to book your vacation on sandpipervacations.com. If you don't like the gays, you're dead to me. So I don't want your business anyway. Go over to sandpipervacations.com to book your vacation with Nick. Tell him the No New Friends podcast sent you. If you don't do it, you're just an idiot. It's really coming down to that. Like, I booked a vacation through Nick. I didn't have to do anything, and I went on a vacation except for pay. You do have to pay. I do not want to mislead people and say you don't have to pay. Sarah, you do have to pay. But you give him your credit card, and he does the rest. It's like my wife going food shopping. You just give the credit card, and she just gets anything she wants, and you just eat it all. So Nick books all my vations, and I just enjoy it all. It's seriously the best. I had in all honesty, I had no idea what travel agents did, and I had no interest in knowing what they did until I met Nick. I booked through Nick, and now, like, me and my whole family who booked through him have no interest in not booking through him for the rest of our lives, because it just makes everything so much easier. So please, if you want an easier experience with your vacation and the best deals, quite honestly, go over to sandpipervacations.com and get a free quote from him. Now, on Diz's this week, we should have had Sarah on, because we did the history on John Ratzenberger, which I have to assume is a Jewish person, because his last name is Ratzenberger.
It's the Berg. I get it.
Yeah. I did not research this.
So the Jews took out the Titanic then?
Well, we will talk about that in another episode, but it was the Rothschilds who did, Scott. We will talk about that in another episode. If my programming after today's blip lets me. We talk about John Ratzenberger. He's the voice of a lot of different people, like a flea from a movie, like a truck from a movie, like a piggy bank from a movie. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then listen to this week's episode on Diz. I'm not giving anything away. You have to listen. I'm being very vague. Cool. That's on Diz. You can just Google Diz. So we'll pop up.
Awesome. Well, you can check out
Diz
Diz His on all social media. Diz His Pod. Go to their link tree, Diz His Pod, and their episodes come out every Tuesday.
Best day of the week.
What?
Apparently, I think it's the best day of the week. Tuesdays.
I say Wednesdays.
I would probably tend to agree with you.
Okay.
Cut that, Alex.
We've got a lot of other great podcasts to tell you about. We've got Don't Wreck Yourself, where Ryan takes on the internet's BS and what's wrecking it, and he debunks it, or they talk about it. They did a whole episode on the Indiana Jones stunt show, and they saw a TikTok video where the ball killed Indiana Jones, ran over Indiana Jones, and they were very concerned about the safety of Indiana Jones. So every time I'm at the Indiana Jones show, even if it's twice a day, I record that moment when the ball runs over Indiana Jones, just to show Ryan he's okay. Everything is fine.
Scott, spoiler alert, we will be putting out a t-shirt of a screenshot of you recording the Indiana Jones shirt. That will be coming this week, courtesy of Sarah.
Fantastic. And thank God that ball is cleanly shaven. And if you want cleanly shaven balls, just visit manscaped.com. Get yourself the Lawnmower 4.0. It's the best in below-the-waist grooming. Use promo code NNF for 20% off your purchase. Also, we have Ashes to Awesome, where Chuck LaFlange takes you through his journey from out of addiction and into recovery. That's Ashes to Awesome. And then also Cases of Continuity, where the Sophisticated Gentleman is still in the James Bond series. Everybody's favorite podcast, the Black Lincoln Collective podcast. Matt and Fred and Alan, super funny guys. Check them out. At some point, they're going to be coming on. We tried to have them on a couple weeks ago. Internet problems, effing Riverside, whatever. But they will be back soon. Chris, what do you got for us?
First of all, I have Studio 21, the baseball podcast, which breaks down, you guessed it, baseball. Playoffs are in full swing right now, no pun intended. So go over to Studio 21 if you want to hear about the latest updates in that. Then I have Remy's Roundtable, which if you listen next week, which is probably this week when this episode releases, this week we have our very own Scott, Sophisticated Gentleman, on to guest host, as well as the next person who I am about to plug, Dane from Big Beautiful Diz, who puts out, you said this on the episode, Scott, he's put out some great videos on YouTube on Big Beautiful Diz lately. We had the McDonald's video, which was amazing.
It was amazing.
I eat that 3 times a week. And then this week, or last week, whenever you listen to this, was Animals in the Park We should get maybe a little inside info on how that bear got into.
We still have no answer of how a bear gets into the Magic Kingdom.
We have no idea. Hopefully, we can get some sort of.
Well, he booked through Sandpiper Vacations, so I mean, that's how you get in.
It's that easy. That's all I have for you, Scott.
Sarah, what's next on the Nerd Archive podcast?
The last installment of Ahsoka.
Thank God.
So I'm sorry. Well, you don't even know how to pronounce it properly.
No idea. I pronounce it every other way today except for the right way.
Yeah, except for the right way. But it was a really, really, really good episode. And they left it, open for a second season. So let's hope there's another round for... I see the look on your face.
Yeah, thrilled.
Very exciting stuff.
Nick, what do you got for us?
So yeah, our friends over at a Nola Papa podcast, Gay Dad Eric, has a podcast called Unscripted. Has been bringing on lots of mental health experts to talk to parents about mental health issues within their children. So it's not just a gay dad's podcast, so definitely check him out.
Awesome. And you can check out our second episode of the week every Wednesday, right around 7 p.m. is when that episode comes out. That's No New Friends After Dark, where Chris hosts that episode, and we're peeling back the layers of the parfait. We're digging into the granola, if you will, of the parfait of life. And it's a lot of fun. We have a great time. You can connect with us, all of our social medias, right there on our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. Check out our super sweet merchandise. Leave us a rating, a review on Spotify, Apple. We love that stuff. 5 stars only. Follow us on Twitch. That's www.twitch.tv/NNF podcast, and join our clubhouse. Become a friend with benefits so that you can watch us record all of our episodes live. You can interact with the rest of the community. It's a lot of fun. We do game nights. Sarah sends you videos of me doing silly things at Indiana Jones show. So it's a lot of fun. You don't want to miss that. On behalf of our Lord and Savior Remy, Abby, the Sophisticated Gentleman, Game Master Ryan, our producer Alex, Nick, Sarah, Chris, Mary, I'm Scott. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.